You are now entering a dangerous liberty zone where God-given natural rights are held sacred and exercised. This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged. If you are weak and your beliefs are fragile, you should leave now. Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. Input means, there we go. Now you guys should be able to hear us. There we go. All right, folks. Sorry about that technical snafu. We had some technical issues going on there. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Welcome to another welcome to another episode of the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. All right. Now we have a great show for you tonight. Missed you guys last week, so we're glad to be back. We got a special guest, and if you will, well, first of all, Summer, how was your week?
It's good.
Yeah. Want to say hi to everybody over in the comments section. We got Con. We got Mostly Peaceful Combat Vet. He's hanging out over on Rumble. We got Roland Parker. We got Jason TG Sponsler, Michael Hen, Alaska Andy, John Rollins, Joe Ham, Chris Fahey. Who else we got over here? Yep. Wyatt Darrell, Otter 114. Who else we got over here?
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy. All right. So we do have a special guest. We got Logan here. Logan, if you will, just take a minute, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and we'll go from there, man.
So I've been in the gun space I worked at a rifle company out of Montana, and then kind of bridged the Defiance hired me as business development, which is a fancy word for sales. So, with my experience building guns and all that stuff, it's kind of I kind of try to bridge the gap between the gun builders, because I have that side, and now getting into the manufacturing side, trying to make sure everybody understands everybody.
Absolutely. So, yeah, no, because there's especially even Defiance. I mean, not only do you have long and short action, left and right handed, but there are a lot of options.
Short,
medium, and a whole lot of other options when it comes to the bolt handle types. Tang types. There's a fluting. There's a ton of options, and we're going to go over some of those with you guys tonight. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm looking at 8 or 9 rifles over there, our very first rifles that we've produced with Paramount Custom Rifle Works. I have a video that we'll be shooting those. Well, that video is shot. I'll be releasing it either today or tomorrow. Probably going to be tomorrow at this point. We're waiting for those to get listed, but those are the very first rifles. One of them are already sold. So it's a pretty exciting time for us. We'll be offering Defiance actions. We'll be offering Impact actions. We'll be offering American Rifle Company actions. And, ultimately what we wanted to do was make sure that, if we were going to do this, we're going to jump out on this venture, we're going to offer the absolute best components. They'll be machined by a really good friend of mine, one of the best gunsmiths in the country. In Mill Coven, I talk about it in the video. I go through all those. But, you know, ultimately, a precision rifle is the sum of its parts, and we didn't want to compromise on anything. We'll have Bartline barrels, but what we're going to be able to do is give you guys the option of, hey, caliber, you'll get a barreled action, and then ultimately you can pick whatever chassis, stock, and we're expanding those lines as we talk, as we speak. So right now we're offering Wooks, Masterpiece Arms as far as chassis go. We're offering Wooks, Masterpiece Arms, KRG, MDT, XLR, and then we got a couple more in the works as well that we're getting in and going to do some testing on, because we got some pretty unique things coming down the line. We'll also probably be carrying Manners, but one of the things that we wanted to do is kind of get off into some of we're missing business with not producing or selling rifles for the hunting space, and many other specialized rifles that don't really fall into KDEX Defense and or Masterpiece Arms. So that's kind of what we wanted to do. So we're really happy to partner with Defiance. And I use that term loosely. I mean, become a Defiance dealer. We also will be selling actions on their own, barreled actions on their own. So and chassis on their own. So the intent here is to kind of be able to not to get away from lead times. We will be doing some fully custom stuff, but ultimately what I want to do is make sure that we have rifles ready to buy on the website, or barreled actions ready to buy on the website, or the actions, or whatever other components. That's what it comes down to. So let's talk a little bit about, kind of in your mind, what do you feel like Defiance is doing differently? Because clearly they're one of the most predominant actions out there, and I think they're known for excellence. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when you talk about, you know, accuracy, right? Everybody has a different version of that, but the gold standard is basically F class.
Yeah.
So you're getting F class quality in a hunting action, or, you know, a tactical action, or a PRS action.
Sure.
Major upside to us is we are probably the largest action manufacturer, you know, just based on numbers. Yeah. So what that gives you is shorter lead times, because, you know, the volume that we can produce actions at and the quality that we can produce them at. And that's kind of the biggest difference, is how many we can produce and how well we can produce them,
while maintaining those quality control standards and all those things. Because that is a challenge, right? Yeah. Now, when we talk about the different, not only do you have obviously long, short, and all those other things.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the different, I guess, models of action that you guys have, from the bottom to the top.
Okay. Yeah. So basically our baseline action, and I don't have one with me, is a classic. That's going to be, you know, round body. So it doesn't have an integrated lug, doesn't have an integrated rail on top. It's just the easiest for us to produce, and any sort of machining stuff is all runtime, right? Like you guys seen that with KDEX, like it's all how long it takes to make something. This how it gets priced.
Right.
So, you know, titanium is more expensive because it's harder on machinery, takes longer to cut. The materials cost, right? Yeah. So that's kind of our lowest end action. I mean, it's still a super high quality action, but it's still on our lower end of what we offer.
Probably very akin to like, or I mean, it's still basically a Remington 700 clone, right?
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's just basically an improved and at a way higher quality, because the materials are better.
Quality control,
you know, all that stuff. So the next step up from that would be like the Renegade, which is going to be, it's going to have an integrated lug, but then the rail's not going to be integrated.
Gotcha.
So it's just basically, whenever you're building an action, you're either starting with a block of, you know, stainless that's this big, or you're starting with a tube, you know. So any sort of, you know, if we can go to this one here, you can see how this has a integrated recoil lug. So all this is one piece. So whenever you start machining, that block has to be that big. So, you know, on the Renegade, that block has to be way smaller, because you don't have to add the height of the actual rail.
That's a lot less material to start out with.
Yeah. And it's literally machine time.
Yeah.
So the next step up from that would be the the Outcast, which is a gun builder exclusive, I believe. But after that, you're going to get into, and I'm just going based on pricing.
Right.
The next one's going to be the Ruckus, which is, hand me one of those.
Yep. There's a Ruckus. There's also a Ruckus.
So these are all of our higher end.
Missing it. No, they're one. There we go.
This is like what most people are going to use if they're going to run like PRS stuff. I run these on NRL Hunter Heavy as well. You can get this, it's called a GA cut, where you would basically get rid of this part of the rail. So it's just got the front and back pick. The Ruckus is probably my favorite, because you can get, with all those options, you can get the skeletonized cut and make this thing pretty light. But we talked about it earlier, like the feel of the bolt, like how it closes, because it does have the heavier bolt handle and does have, a heavier bolt. So this is probably my favorite, and you can customize this thing to the moon. I mean, we talked about it. I can't remember the exact number, but it's over 800,000 different configurations that you can do. So the next in line would be a Anti-X. So Anti-X, this is the gold standard for a long time for hunting actions. Like if you look at a lot of the manufacturers that use it, like all the super high end Western gun builders were using the Anti-X for a very long time. It's got lightning cuts.
It sounds lighter.
It is, right? Like we have a scale here, and we can weigh some stuff here in a minute, but all this stuff is skeletonized, removed. It's just maximizing, weight to efficiency on stuff.
Yeah, and folks, I see you guys asking some questions. I am highlighting those, and we will definitely get to all your questions. And again, I'm sure as we talk, some more will come up for sure. And then ultimately, so just looking at them, the Deviant and the Ruckus look very similar.
Yeah.
So talk about the difference between the Deviant and the Ruckus.
So if you look here, you can see this is going to be. Try to make this as obvious as possible. There we go. This is a one-piece bolt construction.
Okay.
Right. So.
And that's on the.
That's on the Deviant.
Deviant.
Yeah. So you see all of that there. I'm talking to you, but I need to be talking to them. This is all one piece here. So so this has to be giant block.
Wow.
So
yeah.
It's more swept bolt handle. A lot of the guys that are buying hunting specific guns will run that just because they're all 90-degree bolt throws, but that gives you a little bit more clearance on your. And this is the one, like this is for a very long time. This was kind of the number one seller for Defiance for.
And Deviant's always been kind of known as the flagship for
and
Defiance.
Like the Ruckus, can you get that more skeletonized, lighten that up?
Yeah,
and
you can.
Rail?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, you can get that cut. This one here, it's kind of hard to show everybody because it is a Deviant tactical. It's got the super thick tang. Like you can even change the tang thickness on stuff. With this one, the bolt or the actual bolt screws in right there. So, I mean, they're very similar.
Functionally, they're the same.
They're the exact same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The only thing is the Ruckus. Oh, that's a Deviant. No, that's the Ruckus. And it's really hard to tell them apart.
It is. Yeah.
This is our guaranteed headspace. So if you were to buy a action from you,
Right.
You could buy a barrel from Proof, or you could buy a barrel from whoever that has
any prefits,
yep. And you can screw it on yourself and tighten it down with the torque wrench.
So why can you guarantee Headspace on the Ruckus, but not the Deviant?
A lot of the Deviants actually do Headspace the same. It's just, that would be a more technical question for one of the machinists to say,
yeah, no worries.
Exactly why. But like, I've got multiple Deviants that take prefits from Ruckuses.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times they are very close. But it's just one of the nuances that I don't specifically know.
That's fair. Yeah. So, and again, folks, you can change the tang. Like when we went to go, we bought over 100 actions, and I thought that was going to be pretty easy. I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted. And once I got the list of options, I was like, I don't even know what half of these are.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, you can get them skeletonized, non-skeletonized. You can get them obviously nitride coated, stainless steel. You can get them so many, like 20 MOA versus I think coming 30 MOA. I'm not sure about that, but there was definitely different mechanical elevation. Yep. So there's a lot of different, multiple different bolt handles, even the bolt shrouds.
Yeah.
You can get those faceted or non-faceted. Like it gets pretty crazy. Yeah. So,
and that's one of the major differences.
Yeah.
In like what we do versus like what there's great. Everybody now with the machinery that's out there makes great action.
Yeah.
It's the custom, like how custom you can make it.
Do you see like a set parameter of few characteristics that are really pretty consistently the number one?
Yeah, like the standard anti-X. This is just a standard anti-X here. I mean, all of the ones that you see, or you guys are getting, are there's not really any sort of specifics. It's the availability to be able to do the super specific stuff.
Gotcha.
But like the anti-X, right? Like people don't get an anti-X and then not do the skeletonized thing.
That is,
they did, it's a lot of these actions are very purpose built for what
Chuck said, talk louder.
Talk louder. I'm not the loud one in this relationship, okay?
Well, you got to be when you have a mic in front of you. Yeah. So let me look at some of the questions we already got going on. I'll try to stay abreast of these, and so we don't get too far behind. So Alex says, so I'm building a PRS rifle and want a 75-degree bolt, not a 90. Will that cause an issue with the scope? No, it won't cause an issue. As a matter of fact, you'll have less of a throw, so it'll be less of an issue at 75 degrees versus 90 degrees. Yeah,
I've never had an issue with a 90-degree bolt.
100%. Yeah, either one is fine.
Yep. Yeah, because I believe, that one there. If you look, that one is a 90-degree.
And the Deviant's a 90-degree, right?
Nope, they're both 75.
Yeah, those are 75s.
The Deviant.
The Deviant is 90. Yeah,
that one 75 too. Yeah. So you can see. I mean, you can.
And that goes back to where you said that little swept bolt arm can give you a little more.
Yep. So this one here is going to be the 90-degree bolt throw. So the 75 would be less of a lift, so you would actually get way more clearance.
Yeah,
and that's why guys are doing it. So you can run the 36 mil zero comps and 35 mil, and you can run those on a super low mount, because nothing worse than busting your knuckle on an attacker of the throw lever.
Yeah, throw levers. Yep.
That thing's got more knuckle blood on it than anything.
Defiance is a full bolt swap, not just the bolt face.
Yep.
So if you're going to run multiple barrels with multiple calibers, if you want to do a caliber swap, you're going to need to buy a new bolt for that. Yep. John Rollins asks, are you going to have any left-handed rifles? First of all, we already have them en route. We have some barreled actions coming, and we will have more in the future. So
we have left-handed actions in stock ready to go.
and we have left-handed actions ready to go. Those are on the website. So any of these actions, you can go check out what they cost on the website. If you want one, if you're looking for one, again, we appreciate if you buy it from us.
In stock ready to go.
Ready to send to you right now.
Is my mic better? Please let me know.
Noah, look at microphone, I think 4, and make sure that thing is up midway.
Generation 2 said, do you have an order sheet ready, or is it just through emails for the rifles? So we have the actions listed on the website. We have the current builds that Gary is releasing the video on that are built out with chassis and barreled actions that are being put on the website as we speak. That video will come out as well. And then from there, we can start. Email us if you have a very specific configuration or want to start putting together a configuration. We can do that as well.
Yeah, again, one of the things we will definitely be offering full custom. So if there's a caliber that we don't have, or there's just something special that you want, let us know. Like one of the rifles all the rifles are going to come with some default options. And the default options, as far as barrel profile, for instance, will be 125 straight taper to 1. So it'll start off at a 125, end at 26 inches at 1. Again, most of the barrels that we're going to order are going to be, again, Bartline stainless steel, 26 inches. If you want a different length, let us know. But I do want to try to keep as many things in stock so that we can just ship it, it's ready to ship. It's frustrating for customers, and it's a little frustrating for us, like when we're doing these custom builds even on the Masterpiece Arms, or even if somebody orders, for instance, a Cadex rifle that's not in stock, and we're ordering that thing. Masterpiece Arms will give us a lead time of 14 to 16 weeks.
They've moved that though.
Or whatever it is,
yeah.
Just any lead time. Same thing with Cadex. Like, when we first started ordering Cadex, they were like, hey, it's 3 to 4 weeks. And really, I think they told us 2 to 3 weeks. And then a lot of times when we get those orders in, next thing you know, for whatever reason, lead times extend, people get frustrated. And it's frustrating for us because we start getting lots and lots of phone calls and emails. Hey, it's been 14 weeks exactly. Where's my rifle? And we get it. And, we appreciate the business, but I want to try to get away from that as much as I can. Happily build you a custom rifle, but just know that, number one, if you want something that's completely off of kind of some of those default options, it's just going to take a little bit longer. And we'd really appreciate if, you don't call us or email us every couple of days. Hey, where's my rifle? Where's my rifle? Where's my rifle?
You're excited.
We're excited for you. And as soon as we get that rifle in, and there's nothing that we can do to speed up any of these processes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with us. It's like, if we could get you your rifle faster, we would. So I want to do that. Number one, it allows us to capture and meet some needs of customers that we currently don't meet or can't meet because of the limited options that we have through MPA. Some people want MPA chassis, but they don't want the MPA, which is American Rifle Company action. They don't want the MPA barrel. They want a Bartline, whatever it is, right? There's lots of different options that we're going to be able to offer that we just haven't been able to offer in the past. So that's the intent. And we would very much appreciate the support. And if you do want a custom rifle, right now, we don't actually, I got 3 custom rifles in the queue that people have placed with us. And so the point is that we don't have a lot of orders. So if you want something custom, you want one of the first Paramount Custom Rifle Works rifles, time to get your order in. If you want to get one of these rifles over here that we have a lot of different options, I can't show them to you because we're on a live stream, but you'll be able to see them in detail on the video that I'll release tomorrow. And again, those will be available for immediate, those will be able to, we'll be able to ship those immediately.
And just to jump in real quick, probably most of you are aware, but there's a section on our website called Quick Ship. Or if you go up to the magnification glass in the search function and you search for Quick Ship, it's going to bring up all of our ready to go rifles. So whether it's Masterpiece Arms, whether it's the custom rifles, it's going to pull up everything that is in stock, ready to ship, ready to go, so that you're not having to wait 16, 20 weeks to get a bolt action rifle and go start shooting. And right now we have literally dozens of rifles in the Quick Ship section ready to go and to include all of these this evening.
Yep. And if you have any questions, just shoot us an email, services@paramountactical.com, and let us know what's up with that. One of the things that's going to one of my big projects, and one of the reasons that I end up linking up with Logan here that we're going to be doing in the very near future is, number one, we're offering NRL style courses, but we also want to be offering NRL rifles that are ready to go right out of the box. So if you want, you order a light rifle that's going to meet the weight restrictions, which is 12 pounds of light class, or heavy class open, which is 16 pounds. We're going to be able to have a rifle kit ready to go. Got the optic on it, got the rifle on it. Open the case, everything you need right there. We guarantee that it's going to meet weight, and then you can buy that package from us and go do whatever you want with it. So that's one of the things that we're doing. And so one of my friends, Zach, if you guys have been to our long range courses, and we've actually, Zach Simons, we've actually had him on the podcast as well. He shoots a lot of NRL, and I was talking to him and picking his brain. And then subsequently he talked to Logan about, hey, look, what are the best components that we can get and make sure that we are making. I'll tell you, folks, it's tough to make a 12-pound rifle. And
that's what I shot last year was a 12-pound gun. And it, like I was telling you, like I had to spend $1,500 2 weeks before a rifle match to make weight.
You had to buy,
I had to buy a new scope completely. Yeah. And I mean, I am the biggest fan on the planet for the Zeiss S3, and it was like painful to have to get, because I've used that scope for 4 years. So it's like, it's my brain thinks, and the ZRF M, mill, whatever the name is on it. So I was like, and I tried everything. I mean, I was like taking the bipod feet off. Yeah. And like, I know what zip ties weigh.
Throwing some bubble gum on the bottom.
Zip ties
because like everybody just like, you have to get zip ties at these NRL hunter matches. So you end up with like a zip tie on your bipod and then 2 on your scope. Well, I just like sometimes, like if I change categories, I just leave them on there because I just like, I don't really want to take a razor knife to aluminum. And I was like, oh, well, I could probably cut these 6 zip ties off, and like they're all like 0.1 of an ounce or something. So because I mean that's how the guys do it. Like they're like, it benefits you to have a gun that is literally 12 pounds on the on the dot, or a 16-pound gun. Like it doesn't help you to have a 14.5-pound gun. So if you can add more weight or put get more adjustment with your bipod, or whatever it may be.
So Judge Bernie, absolutely. So again, these rifles are built by us. We're having them machined to our spec by one of the best gunsmiths on the planet. And again, they're going to be with the actions that we chose. And then really it comes down to an option of what chassis you want, what trigger. Right now we're going with, we're going with Trigger Tech triggers. Again, I talk about all this stuff in the video, like here's the components we chose, why we chose them. And again, if there's something specific that you want, we can meet those needs too. But yes, everything is going to be built and assembled, QC'd by us. And I'm pretty stoked about the whole thing because I think it's the beginning of something cool. And we actually just rented a whole new space where we're going to be doing our rifle builds in. So it'll be nice to have a little more space. We're running out of space in the shop. So it has some storage space as well as, kind of a gunsmithing area and whatever you want. As many of you guys know already, we kind of have been specializing in full builds where literally we ship a person a custom case with their rifle, all the accessories, all the cleaning gear that you need, ready to go, minus ammo. And in a lot of cases, we provide ammo too. Now we custom and precision mount that optic. Some other things that we have done and we off services that we do offer is everything from tall target tests, accuracy tests. We can do all those additional things, tracking tests. Those cost extra, obviously, because they take time. But yes, the whole thing is going to be, it is our line of rifles, and we're just using the best components possible. Jeff Johnson was asking, for Logan, are you still having lingering issues with rifle builders mad about the price hike before?
Yeah, I mean, anytime your margins get cut or, there's a price increase, and guys obviously get, aggravated, but like they had to understand that if we didn't change the prices, then there wouldn't be a Defiance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever the guy that bought Defiance bought it, there was a action that was the preceded the Classic,
Mm-hmm.
and that was about 60% of our business to gun builders. And every single time they ship one out the door, they were losing money on it.
Mm.
So
Can't
it was
stay in
like
business that
every
way.
time an order got complete, they lost money on that. So that's why there was a price increase. But yeah, I mean, I talk to guys once a week that are still up in arms about it and pissed off. And it's just like,
Everything goes up, man.
everything goes up, you know, and there was steel shortages during COVID, and then, you know, prices of all that crap, like there, you know, labor is more expensive, and everything goes up, and there was just never really a price increase for us, you know, for a long time. And then, you know, if we would have done it incrementally, I don't think that there would have been as big of a problem. But if we did do it incrementally,
well, no good deed goes unpunished. And what happens even like with us and things like that is like, I think we try to hold off from increasing prices until we're like forced to.
Yeah.
And so, you know, ultimately it ends up being a big price bump. But people don't understand the savings that they were afforded going prior to that. And I think you're looking at this all wrong for people that are upset about those price increases, because what you need to realize is that your gun has now appreciated. It's worth more. So think of it that way.
But yeah, no, there was obviously there's still people that are upset about it, but it's one of those things. I mean, a lot of the guys that were upset are definitely coming back around to it, just because, you know, they've went to the other side and seen the quality, you know,
and they're like, okay, worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah. And I will tell you, in the video, I feature one of the Furiosa Ultra in what's the wood that one's made of?
Walnut, and then also the micarta.
Man,
just the
that walnut Furiosa Ultra is pretty. It just looks good. It just looks good. And I don't. I'm not a. How do I say this without getting slammed in the comments? I was going to say I'm not big on wood. But I know Jason and many others and Jeff are going to have fun with that. Anyways, but man, that thing just looks good. It's the perfect blend of traditional with modern. And those Woox chassis just look really, really good. Then we also have the Woox Furiosa, not the Ultra, in the micarta, which looks amazing as well. And I mean, you know, micarta is just going to be such a durable material as well. So a lot of cool stuff that you guys are going to see in that video, and you guys should be getting that out tomorrow. I think there was another question.
Yeah, there was, from Chuck Cooley. I think you started.
Oh, yeah. Chuck asked, will it fit the spur chassis? As long as all of the actions that we have are 700 pattern actions. So I'm sure spur, I'm pretty sure that's a 700.
I think they may offer a couple. First thing they came out with was a limited 700 platform.
So you're going to have lots of options of different chassis, even ones that we don't currently carry or don't plan on carrying, even if you're buying a barreled action from us or an action, right? What else we got going on here? Yeah, that shirt was awesome. Yeah. And I'm going to end up shooting a video about this. So Mike, for what Mike Hen is referring to, he said, hey, did you guys ever figure out what's going on with the triggers in the last class? So MPA switched to the Bix and Andy triggers, and there's a lot of guys out there that love Bix and Andy, and they are excellent triggers. They take a little more. You can get those to feel exactly the way that you want. Not only do they allow you to adjust for pull weight, but also sear engagement. And as you adjust one, it affects the other, and you kind of got to go back and forth till you get the right feel that you want, as well as the right pull weight that you want. And then also obviously make sure that it's safe, you know, try to slam fire it and make sure it doesn't slam fire. Obviously
you can do the grandpa trick of bumping it on the ground.
Bumping on the ground. I do that with every rifle, where you're just kind of bumping the buttstock. What we're talking about is just bumping the buttstock on the ground to make sure that, it doesn't turn into a SIG P320. So in this last class, suddenly we had a bunch of the Bix and Andy triggers that were in the school MPAs failing to fire. And so what we did ultimately find out was that the Bix and Andy are going to be a little bit more sensitive. There's lots of triggers out there like that are a little bit more sensitive to solvent getting into that trigger. And, fortunately or unfortunately, when students clean guns, they use a lot more solvent than I would use for the action cleaning. And so that's going to be something that basically what you need to do is get a good degreaser. If you're having that issue, you can either take that trigger apart. It's not that hard. And or you can use something like Lucas Extreme
Duty gun cleaner,
and it's a good degreaser, and you can hit that with that and it'll get rid of that problem. But the point here is if you're cleaning your action, especially with action cleaning tools like we have, where you're putting a patch on there and clean that entire action, you got to be conservative. You don't need that much solvent, right? And of course, students, they're just like
dousing
especially on the school
he died
because it's not there.
It's not there, it's not their solvent.
Like, get this thing clean faster.
So anyways, you got to be careful, because it will get down there and will gunk up those fine mechanisms, and just be careful with that. So that was the issue. We did confirm that and find that out, and so be careful with that.
One thing you can use, and I used to, like, if I go to a match in New Mexico, I go to the gas station and buy Zippo butane.
So I hear you. Big Snanny specifically says, do not use lighter fluid on their actions. On their triggers. Do not use lighter fluid on the Big Snanny triggers. That's what they say. I don't know why it matters.
Just keep your extreme duty gun cleaner.
They've seen me too much in the sniper hide comments. Going, this is how you clean it.
So prevention here is key. You don't need a bunch of solvent in your action. And obviously, for those of you that are running some stocks that may be glass bedded or whatever else, you want to keep any solvent from getting the action to begin with, because it could start eating up your bedding.
We have Nancy here from Quebec.
Nancy from Quebec.
We were just in Quebec.
We were in Quebec.
Nope.
One thing too is the chamber, the PVC things that go in the chamber.
Yeah, so we actually sell
bore guides.
Well, the problem is, so we have bore guides with every single one of our student guns.
Yeah.
But to clean the action, you got to take the bore guide out. So that was the problem.
Yeah.
People are getting a little crazy. They died in a freak solvent cleaning accident fire. Nobody's going to get that reference. There you go. Leave it dry, clean, take it apart. It's easy. It's not like taking apart a Remy trigger. They're built to be taken apart. They are. Yeah, I love Trigger Tech triggers. I've never been able to get used to their AR triggers. I've tried a couple of them. They're good. They're excellent triggers. Don't get me wrong. There's a little bit of like weird take up and slop in them that just doesn't quite, I don't know. It's definitely much better than a standard trigger for sure. Mil spec. Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. It's just out of ignorance, both on my part. Look, on some of our other MPAs that have the trigger techs, I've never seen that issue. Again, the big Snanny are just going to be a little bit more sensitive to it because they have they have additional features in there that required additional mechanics that are going to be more sensitive to getting a buildup of solvent in there. It's just as simple as that. No one's real fault, but we're all smarter now because of it. So again, when we're talking about light actions for lighter guns, if you're going to be shooting, you hit hide current. If we're talking about the lighter actions for building NRL guns or just light hunting guns, obviously we talked a little bit about the Anti-X, which is a really good, obviously, action, great hunting action. Fill in any gaps that we haven't covered with that. And then let's talk a little bit about your titanium.
Yeah, so originally the Anti-X is anti-TI, right? So like, for forever they were basically like, yeah, we're never going to build a titanium action because we talked about it earlier. Like, in the early stages of guys building titanium actions, there was quite a bit of gawing. And that's what turns a lot of people off even to this day. Like I answer phone calls every day of like, well, is it gonna go? And it's like,
it's funny you say that because when I saw I automatically thought the Anti-X was a TI action, but like AN stood for something else. Like, I don't know.
So that's what it was for, was like, yeah, we're never gonna build one and never say never, right? So they, we just got finally asked enough times. And that's kind of the trend for the market, is like everybody just wants the lightest option available. Like I sold guns for years, and it wasn't like, hey, how accurate are your rifles? It's like, what's the lightest gun you got? And it's like, well, this is the lightest gun we got. So, but you know, we've worked with a couple different coatings, and like now we feel super comfortable building a titanium action that
isn't going to gall.
Yeah. So we're gonna produce a video later this winter. Like I'm gonna go out and shoot a gun 1,000 times with a TI and not clean the bolt and just literally shoot it, and the test is going to be the test. So that way we can kind of put our money where their mouth is. So like we weighed this Anti-X earlier, which is a super light action to start with. It's 26 ounces.
Something like that.
We got a scale.
We got a scale. No, hit us with the camera angle.
So, gotta pull that back now. There we go. There again. So this is going to be our standard Anti-X here.
Now, and that's a long action, right?
Yep. Yeah, they're both long action magnums. So this one's only difference 75-degree bolt throw, which it's not going to change anything. So that one is 1 pound, 8 ounces. Pound, 2 ounces. So
it's about a 4.5 ounce difference there.
6 ounce.
Yeah, 6 ounce.
6 ounce. Yeah, sorry.
So
listen, it's like
she has a degree, folks.
What that allows you to do, especially in like a hunting scenario, is, you know, being able to bring a completely different scope. Like if I would have had this action for that NRL hunter match in New Mexico, I would have been able to use my S3. You know, so it gives you a lot more variability in your componentry of what you can actually get away with. So these two actions are literally identical. I mean,
yeah, we were looking at it. I mean, basically dimensionally, they're the exact same. Just one is titanium, one is steel.
And, you know, that's all it is. Like even the bolts are the same. This one's just the body is actually titanium. So
Nope.
Yep. But that's going to be for, you know, your guy that's going to shoot ultralight, like backpack hunter, they're even talking about making a ultralight rifle class in the NRL hunter. So they're going to make a 10-pound class.
Really? That's going to be tough.
You know, because that's originally where it started. Those guys were shooting their hunting rifles.
Yeah.
And then it kind of changed into guys starting to game it. And like we were even talking about the cartridges and stuff like that. And
heavier is better.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to precision rifle shooting, heavier is better.
And at the end of the day, like I shoot matches because it makes me way better at hunting. Like I've built positions on like taking bags, like I use the pint size game changer, the light fill, on top of a round post, like a corner post in Montana, and then tripod rear support, shot coyotes that way. Like you can do all kinds of stuff. And it just makes the shooting part, there's no anxiety then.
Right.
You know, whenever you say you go and shoot 4 rifle matches a year, whenever you go to shoot an animal, it's like, this is the easiest part is the execution of the shot. So like it makes hunting in my eyes way more fun, because then you're just looking,
and more ethical at the end of the day, you know.
Jeff is looking for someone to lash out at.
Yeah. Jeff says I'm always lashing out at him.
The other option, folks, is most of the short actions that we're going to have, whether they be Defiance, Impact. I don't know about American Rifle Company. I have to look at those, but Defiance and Impact for sure. We have ordered those with AW cuts.
Yep.
So they will be able to take AW mags as well as AICS mags. So those options are there, especially for you guys shooting some of the 6mm. And by the way, we have plenty of Gray Ops AW mags in stock. So ParamountTactical.com. Go get it. Go get it done. Thanks for the email. I think somebody.
There was a question to start. If you go over to Starred.
Let's go to the Starred.
Go down. Michael Hen, with these types of high quality actions, do you need to check Headspace when you install a prefit barrel? What's the risk? We answered part of this earlier, but
I don't.
The correct answer is you should.
Yeah.
You should always
but
check.
the Headspace is guaranteed on the Deviant or the
on the
Ruckus,
on the
Ruckus,
Ruckus.
and all the TI stuff, and like almost all of the Deviants also do it. But like you can get go gauges and no go gauges cheap.
Yeah. So
why
wouldn't you?
The guys that are chambering these barrels are using like the most precise machines on the planet. So like I trust gun builders, but at the same time, like if I'm getting a gun built by somebody new, I definitely definitely check it out. Definitely get a go gauge for it.
Apparently I hate Jeff.
Didn't you even send him crayons?
I sent him a gift that he thoroughly is enjoying.
A full box of red crayons.
Full box of red crayons. I specifically got him a full box of just red crayons because it's his favorite flavor. But apparently I hate him.
I'm pretty sure we see some crayon on
yeah, we got pictures of him eating them. So he enjoyed the snack. Okay.
Yeah. So Jeff, you got gifts that no one else got. So I don't know why you're talking all that trash. Robbie Razzer says, any chance a quick barrel feature like a Terminus Zeus without the need for an action wrench and vise? I'll tell you, I don't plan on carrying any quick change barrel systems. Folks, some of those shoot, some of them don't. I mean, there's just too many variables in there. And this is another discussion that I need to kind of follow up on with, or fill you guys in on, that I had with KDEX. I asked them like, hey, look, we have Accuracy International. We have some of these other companies that are making these that are basically a quicker change barrel system than what you guys have. And, you guys got this big torque wrench and all this other thing. They're like, look, man, we tested those systems and they may not show a POI shift at 100 yards, but at distance, like we were seeing significant POI shifts that we just weren't happy with. And the only way to do that was to make sure that they were torqued to the exact same spec every time. And, we're seeing where we're taking a barrel off, putting it back on, making sure it's torqued to spec without a POI shift at like 2,000 yards. So they understood from a marketing standpoint that that's kind of what people want. But I think if you really want precision, and I'll tell you right now, I even talked to Phil Cashin. They actually sell a quick change barrel system. And when we first started selling MPAs, I called him up directly. I was like, hey, Phil, what's the deal with this switch lugs? And he's like, look, man, he basically said the same thing. He's like, sometimes you won't see a POI shift, but other times you will. So if you really want something that's consistent, then that barrel needs to be torqued to the exact same spec every single time. And I know it's not as convenient, but it's really not that hard either.
Well, I mean, even talking with Patrice, like they can do this barrel change. The KDEX guys that have had some practice at it in like 2 minutes.
I can do it in 2 minutes. Yeah. It's not hard. And it's not like this idea. There's this like weird idea that we're going to do these barrel changes in the field or whatever. Like you're out hunting, you're out doing something. I remember
this conversation too.
And it's almost ridiculous. Even as a sniper, there would be no situation where I'm like on a mission carrying an extra barrel and like, oh, you know what? Instead of 308, I'm going to go with 300 Win Mag on this shot. And I'm going to pull that out and do a quick change. Like, that's just it's not realistic. And yeah, I'm personally not a fan of the current quick change barrel systems.
It's a good theory.
It is. Well, what's your thoughts on that? Agree, disagree? I don't care.
I completely agree. I mean, I change barrel, like I clean stuff a little differently than most people. Like I will completely disassemble a rifle to clean it, like pins out of it, barrels off of it, scopes,
trigger out, everything,
all of it, right? Yeah. And just because we shoot these matches in some places that are like
just dusty, muddy.
Yeah, I've shot that match in New Mexico, and the wind blew it, and dust is just
every crack.
I mean, it is, and you're just like you can't get it clean if it's together.
Yeah.
And it's just too easy to
And folks, I think that's part of the problem is like, I think a lot of people are intimidated by the process.
Yeah.
And I think after you do it once or twice, you'll see that it's not that hard. And I do know that it comes with an extra expense of a barrel wrench and a barrel vise. But really, if you're getting one of these quick change systems to begin with, you're probably paying more for that. And then you're compromising a lot when it comes to precision and any sort of, just dependable point of impact. So, you got to give up something to get something. I think for that convenience, you're giving up more than I'm willing to give up. And definitely, I'm not interested in selling a rifle, because what will happen is we're going to get the call. Hey, Gary, every time I put this barrel on, take it off, I'm getting a point of impact shift. Yeah, you are. And there's nothing I can do about it. But, we're going to get held responsible for that. And I just don't want to deal with that. And I don't personally like those systems. So, and that's kind of the whole thing with Paramount is like, we don't sell anything that I don't personally like.
If Gary doesn't like it, we don't sell it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good thought process. Yeah, there's this fairy tale that people think that they're going to carry multiple bolts and different barrels and this and that, and depending on what they're doing, they're going to change it. But I know guys, and I'm friends with guys that work at AI, and they don't ever change it in the field.
Yeah.
Like they don't fly to Arizona
unless they're doing a demo.
Yeah,
they'll do it for a demo.
Yep.
Right.
So like we could literally take a rifle that's completely set up that we went and shot, come back here, have a switch from say a short action 6.5 Creedmoor to a 6.5 PRC barrel.
Yeah.
What, sub 10 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's like, there is an extra cost of a barrel vise and a torque wrench and all that stuff, but there's plenty of products out there now. Like I'm a giant fan of the short action customs barrel vise, and like a torque wrench or you can get a cheap torque wrench now at Harbor Freight that does just as good as
Look at Project Farm. The Harbor Freight torque wrenches do just as good as some of the Snap-on and $1,000 ones. And I do think like there's also, when it comes to all torque specs, there's some plus and minus there, that whether you're talking about the wrench itself or you're talking about this torque spec required on a barrel or any sort of fastener anything that you're putting together. Alex Amorosa Jr. says, does the Impact 737R torque to the same spec as the Defiant using a prefit with a barrel nut? I don't know that answer. I'll have to look that up, Alex, to be honest with you.
With a barrel nut, no, because it's a completely different system. Yeah, barrel nuts are for like rimmages and savage stuff. So
I was tracking, Alex. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's okay, Jeff. At least you're willing to admit you have a problem. Jeff takes on Gary rifle breakdown challenge. Oh, yeah. We'll be getting KDEX and 375 Shy-Tech. We can order them, Judge. We can order them for you. You want one? We'll get you one. Look, 375 is just not something that. Look, at the end of the day, those guns cost a lot, and we obviously have to put those, prepay for those. So 375 and some of the other not so popular calibers, that's going to be a custom order. So just let us know if you want one. We can get you one. We got a 50 cal sitting on the wall. You guys can get that. What would be the ultimate PRS Ruckus build to you? That's a great question, Ricky. I would say, and I'll let Logan answer this, and I'm sure we'll get some differences. I would say the ultimate PRS build using a Ruckus action, obviously, I probably go 6-dasher, and then as far as a chassis goes, I think the ultimate PRS chassis, it's really hard to get away from the Matrix with that wide forend, and especially with the Matrix Pro 2 now that have a lighter end, but also you got lots of different options as far as weight. 26-inch 6-dasher, and again, one of the things I keep talking about is a lot of guys all the guys that kind of migrated to 6 millimeters, they're kind of migrating back to 6.5 because distances are getting longer, and it still does better in wind. And, you know, the other thing is originally all those 6mm cartridges developed because they wanted to shoot at 3,000 plus feet per second. But then they realized, like, at those 400-yard targets and things like that, that round was impacting before they could even see it. So now what they're doing is they're loading those 6mm cartridges down to like 2,800. So now where, you know, some of the benefits that you're getting out of those 6mm, if you're loading at 2,800, you can pretty much do the same thing and get a better BC with some of the 6.5s. So, you know, whether you go any of the 6mm or 6.5, you're going to be just fine. And you just got to figure out, you know, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize being able to see your hits and misses, or do you prioritize the velocity of the target? And those are kind of the things. But I'll tell you, the downside to the Matrix is that it's obviously a little harder to clean because you got to remove the cheek riser. But man, you know, that to me is kind of the ultimate chassis for PRS. But the other ones are great too. You know, I'm looking at KRG, the Whiskey 3. That's a great freaking chassis. That Furiosa Ultra, I haven't shot it yet. That's a awesome looking chassis. Looks nice. Does great. And of course, the ESR chassis from MPA is just a great chassis too. And then you got a folding buttstock. Like, there's plenty of top shooters that are using all those different variants and doing really well.
And that's the reason why we carry all.
And that's why we carry those.
Yep.
What's your ultimate PRS build?
Ruckus
Action.
Ruckus. Probably going to be heavy varmint, Bartline or benchmark.
Yep.
I'm going to run a giant Botnia brake on it if I can find one somewhere on the sniper side for not full price. Chassis wise, my favorite chassis out of the MPA, I've been using MPA for a long time, and you know, now I'm using McMillan and Manners and all. I've used them all, but that ESR chassis is just, because the best thing that I see on that is I don't personally like a super wide fore-end just on some of the, you know, slanted stuff.
Sure.
I feel like I actually have less contact with the bag because it's so wide, you know, it's tilting. And that ESR fore-end takes M-lock.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't have to have a specialty weight kit. You can literally just buy
whatever M-lock,
you know, brass weights or whatever like that. But the KRG is good. Like all the products now are world class. Yeah. Like there's not,
you're splitting hairs.
It's not, it's like, what do you like with the actions? It's like, how do you like it to feel? How do you like it to look? Because everybody makes a great action. The chassis are like, hey, how do you want it to be able to fold, or do you want, you know, what's the best value for your dog? Because there's so many different mindsets on it. But yeah, like that ESR from MPA is great. The MDT ACC, I like the older one better personally, just because
the Gen 1 or Gen 2? Because now they have the Gen 3, I think.
I like the Gen 1 because you can run that in like NRL Hunter in heavy. Yeah. And because if you go to the Premier or the after the, you know, they came out with the Gen 1, then they came out with the other one that had the bar on the bottom. Yeah. You can't make weight in NRL with that. Like, there's no configuration that works because the base weight's so heavy. But the MDT one's great. The whiskey one's great. I've shot almost all of them now. And all the products in the gun space are just awesome. So you're just picking and choosing what you like. Yeah, what brand you like. If they're not good, they don't last. Yeah, right? I mean, that's as simple as that. What I will tell you, folks, is I just got one of the guns over there has the MDT J Allen chassis. I haven't shot it yet. But I'll tell you the features on that and the way that gun feels. I really like that chassis. I'm looking forward to actually testing that out.
I thought the spacer system was pretty cool.
Yeah, it has a adjustable barricade stop built into it, full Arca rail. I mean, everything that you want. And those are some of the key features that you're going to want with a PRS rifle, right? You want full Arca rail. You want a flat bottom rail. You want to be able to add weight. Yeah, you know, you want obviously an adjustable both cheek riser and length of pull. That should all be built into that. Those are some of the main things, and all the good ones have those options. And of course, there's other things that you can get into. that, you know, are plus or minuses. Some people are going to like, some people aren't, you know, but you really can't go wrong with any of those.
Caliber wise, 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
I've shot all the main cartridges that guys, you know, like to shoot, and you got to find that perfect, whatever works for you. Some people's brain can process information faster than others. Mine just can't. So like, I like a slower flight time, because I started out with a 6 Creedmoor. In the first year I shot, you know, NRL hunter or WPR matches in Montana. I had no idea where shots were going at like sub 400 yards, right? Because it got there so fast. You're shooting a 109 at 3,000 or 3050 or 3100, and you know, you just, if you can't see where you've missed, you can't make an adjustment to hit. So you're just like, well, it's probably more wind than that. But yeah, like I shoot 140 burgers at 2750, and if I have a barrel that won't shoot that, then I take the barrel off. Like, just because
try
like,
another one.
Like I told Gary, like I've trained a bunch of guys, like I've like trained almost 400 guys over the last 5 years, and all of them shoot, you know, guns that we built, and they all shoot 140 burgers, and I'm the one loading the ammo. So it's all, you know, like I go through some dice on some stuff. So like they all shoot 140 burgers at 2750. So that's the way my brain literally sees wind real time. So.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Yeah. And, you know, I can't say it enough. I know there's still some 6.5 haters out there. 6.5 Creedmoor is just one of the most versatile rounds that you're going to find out there. It's so easy to shoot. It's easy to find components. It's easy to load. Like, it's just the easy button and going to do so many things so well. It's just hard to get away from that fact. And I know everybody's always going to be chasing the newest, latest, and greatest, and you're going to see trends go up and down. But I think, you know, 6.5 Creedmoor has ultimately replaced the venerable 308. And I think it's going to stay just like 308 has lasted forever, and for good reason. We're going to see the same thing with 6.5. I'd say 80% of the rifles we sell are 6.5.
Oh yeah. 90.
And I think that's a really, really good choice. Like, if you don't own a 6.5 Creedmoor, you should. You should be out there shooting with it, training with it. It's just, and matter of fact, you know, talking about 6.5 versus 308, like a lot of times you go to different sporting stores or places that sell ammo, you'll find 6.5 before you do 308. Yeah. It's definitely selling
in good quality.
Yeah. And it's really good quality. Unless you get
I would say that probably
box of trash Hornady that's
outside of the Magnum calibers, like 98% of the rifles we sell are 6.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've shot that. I mean, I've shot a child's tuition in federal gold medal match, 6.5 Creedmoor.
A child's tuition.
I'm not shooting. I mean, and I was getting a good deal on it, and I still you start doing taxes on stuff. You're like, I've shot way too much ammo this year.
It's really hard when you add stuff up at the end of the year when you go to file taxes and you realize how much you spent on certain categories.
I don't know if the accountant's going to believe this. But, yeah.
There is some. Well, I mean, it just depends on what you mean by superior, Jeff. Ultimately, they're both 6.5. You're going to get the same. You're going to get the same ballistics out of the projectiles. There is a little bit more case volume, but again, I don't know that we're necessarily. I think what we're all realizing is that velocity isn't the end all be all, and being able to see your hits and misses, I think, is really important. And the downside to 6.5 by 47 is that you're going to be reloading because you're not going to find that anywhere else. And that's one of the other things too, is a lot of people just getting into long range shooting get 6.5. You can find great ammo. If you decide later on that you want to reload, that's great. But yeah, there's some definitely
it's easier to tune.
It probably is.
Low SDs.
I mean, it's like shooting a dasher or a BR. Like you fill the case full and stuff a bullet in it, and that's fine.
Mike says you should never add it up. It's the first rule of expensive hobbies.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, Mike, I have to add it up because it's business expenses, and yeah.
I just don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, he does not. Every time I'm like, "Oh, I just came from the tax appointment," he's like, "I don't." Yeah, well, what else we got to do today?
By the way, I stopped at the store and pulled some guns off the wall.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious once you start looking at like the ballistics of all this stuff, of like 6.5 47 versus 6.5 Creedmoor versus 6.5
PRC
sleeve versus, you know, like they're all pretty close.
Yeah.
So it's like availability to you. Like if your store always has 6.5 PRC, like,
Yep. Yep. Fairly fart, but boxed ammo is very fart rare. I'm sure it means good boxed ammo. Not handle firearms in live video. Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, the moment that we pulled out a firearm and started handling firearms here on a live stream, YouTube would shut the live stream down. One time I even pulled out a chassis, just the chassis itself got picked up in the algorithm, and they shut that down thinking it was a firearm. I contested it. Of course, we had to shut down that live stream, but they ended up letting it get reposted as a video because I contested it. And again, they were like, our bad. We don't care about you.
yeah, we're not even going to do finger guns.
Yeah.
Finger guns. Venture Beyond says, it's been a while since I've been here. Cool to see y'all are still doing your thing.
We're doing the thing, man.
We'll always be doing the thing.
Yep.
In some form or fashion.
All right. So Logan, what haven't we covered so far on things that people need to know about Defiance?
We covered most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some cool new stuff coming out. The CRF, controlled round feed.
Oh,
The guys that there's, you know, obviously a complaint in the price of it, but the guys that want controlled round feeds know what high quality ones cost. So, you know, if you wanted a cheap controlled round feed, buy a pre 64.
there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've basically covered it all. You've ordered damn near everything. So you're going to have a lot of stuff on there for guys to look at.
I need to order some more anti-X's. We need to get some of those in.
I just ordered some through Terra.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And
anti-X's are probably the number one seller for us.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them in long action, you can get them in short action, you can get them in XM plus, right? So XM plus is 6.5 PRC, so you can run like 156's way out.
What was that? Just like a medium action?
Yep. So we came out with the XM originally, and you know, we just didn't have a large enough opening in the bottom, and then everyone came out with a medium. Because at one point we had a short action, which was the Remington Model 7, which was like 243, 7mm all day. It was Remington Model 7 clone. Then we had a medium. Our medium was the industry standard short action. Then we had an XM, which is like an extra medium, which was like 6.
That's the size shirt I wear. Extra medium.
Extra medium. Then we had long action. But now we've kind of rebranded all that stuff to make more sense for everybody, because I know it was super confusing for a lot of guys. So it's short action, XM, long action now. So
thanks for the super chat. Showed me some quarter MOA. Appreciate it, buddy.
I want to share. We had something really cool happen this week at the shop.
What's that?
So yesterday, I see a camper pull up in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, cool. What's going on here? A family ends up coming in, and they're visiting the U.S. from Denmark. They watch the channel, and Dad shoots PRS in Denmark and watches the channel, and he made the whole family do one of their vacation stops at Paramount Tactical.
That's cool.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And they had to meet the new puppy while they were there too.
Oh, and he's cute.
yeah, he's super cute. So they the whole family came. Got some pictures I want to post, but yeah, they were super thrilled, doing some fun stuff in the U.S. And learning some history about our country, which I thought was really cool that they're here.
And there's a lot of history here.
Yeah, they were heading to Gettysburg, and you know,
like some of the houses that are here that are like,
oh,
this was owned by British royalty and was built in 1909.
So just down the road from the shop, there's that whole area was at one time owned by George Washington. And just down the road from the shop was one of the original pieces of property that he ever first surveyed as a surveyor. Yeah.
It's got all rock fence all over.
Yeah, like beautiful
rock.
areas. There's an old stone inn there. You can actually go stay or just go eat dinner. but we've been there, and I think it was built in like the 1700s, and it's
Holy
on
cow,
that
yeah.
first piece of property that he surveyed. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I've never been up in
This way?
No.
Oh, it's
So
beautiful.
it's
so much
awesome.
history.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
It's pretty cool seeing like the old, like just the old houses that are still, and you're like, that thing was built in the 1800s.
Oh yeah,
and
there's
and they're just like
standing
on the
log
side
cabins.
of the road.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that's super cool.
Yeah. It's too cold for my taste in the winter. You know, I'm from Georgia, so it's a little too cold for me. But
Too cold.
You living in Montana, you're probably like, oh, it's warm here.
I was too cold. That's why I moved back to Tennessee, because it was I got tired of shoveling snow.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind moving further south. I think Gary is went to get something. I don't know if I wanted to ruin the surprise. Yep, this is what they were asking for.
I know. Everybody wants puppies. Grab those actions.
Everybody wants puppies.
Oh.
This is Mr. Magnus Melton. He's like, what am I doing on the table? This is not allowed.
Oops. Yeah, we'll probably get shut down for this. I don't know. I'm sure anything cool is against YouTube rules.
I'm trying to move the mic
This
out of
is
the way.
Magnus. It's kind of hard to see in this, but he's blue, gray.
What they call blue, but it's a that gray color.
He's got some pretty blue eyes.
Look at that
He's
face.
a Cane Corso. He's a Paramount
Mascot.
mascot.
You named him after a suppressor. Well, Magnus means great. So
We didn't specifically intend to name him after a suppressor.
He's so much cuter than Gary.
He is so much cuter than me. 100%.
he's definitely the star of the show.
Oh, buddy. What are we doing up here?
Yep. It means great or big. And I think he's going to be big. Are you going to be big, buddy?
Yeah, you can tell by the paws.
Yeah.
Oh.
And believe it or not, he was one of the smaller ones in the litter.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a 365-day update.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come here, buddy.
We'll throw him in the socials, and everybody get to see him at the long range courses.
Another bonus, if you come out to long range,
You get to hang out with Magnus.
Magnus is
It
always
does
there.
cost extra though to pet him.
Look, he's got his little paw up on the table, like, all right, guys, what are we doing?
Hey, we appreciate that. We appreciate the puppy food fun.
Puppy food fun.
I bought oversized gloves to trick my wife into dating.
Of course you did.
Boy, she was disappointed.
Get some more crayons.
All right. What else we got going on? Any other questions when it comes to guns, gear, training?
Nope.
Anything else out there? Look, if you're interested in getting a custom rifle, we'd love to square you away. We'd love to support. And of course, we're always going to carry, unless something crazy happens, Masterpiece Arms and KDX. We love being a dealer for them. They're freaking phenomenal products, phenomenal companies. Been selling quite a few KDX lately, so we've been shipping those out left and right.
I did just list some new ones on the website today that came in, but they don't last long at all.
The one gun that you guys haven't seen that I need to do a full review of is the XS. It's their newest kind of PRS designed, but it's a pretty slick gun too. So you guys will see that as well. We already got barrels in. So we already have barrels in. We have additional 6 mil barrels coming in. So we'll be getting probably, I know another shipment just got shipped out from a mill. So, I mean, we have barrels and actions in stock and barreled actions in stock, and we'll be getting a pretty regular trickle of those. So let me know what you guys are looking for.
Miller says, do you have any additional follow-up thoughts on the Fire 4000?
Hey, I mean, it's great. I mean, we were actually having this conversation before this started. Logan was asking me about the Fire 4000. I still say for the price, $1,500 for what you're getting in that device is just phenomenal.
That's a slam dunk.
I mean, it just, that thing is right up there with a Wilcox Raptor, and the Wilcox Raptor is 10 grand. It's so much better than the Vortex, all the updated electronics, AB Elite on board, extremely durable build, all aluminum housing. Like everything just works with it. I've seen no issues with them. The only problem that I've seen with clients that have called me, I think I've had 2, and we've probably sold, I don't know, well over 100 at this point. The only 2 people that have had issues didn't take the time to actually zero them properly. So if you take the time to get a good parallel zero, I lay out the exact way to do that correctly in the video. If you do that, you won't have issues.
I watched that video last night.
There you go. So
did you binge all the Paramount videos last night?
Do we have any cancellations for long range course?
We did. I don't know. Go to the website, and if it shows a slot available, then there's a slot available. I can't remember if the last slot resold or not.
Yeah, we had 2
cancellations.
2 cancellations, both because of medical issues.
One sold for sure.
One of those was filled immediately, and so there may be another one available for the August course. If it's not, shoot us an email. We may try to help you work you in if we can. We'll look at what we got for instructors, and as long as it doesn't take away from the student to instructor ratio, we may try to squeeze you in there, Austin. Question about precision shooting technique. I see a lot of people single loading rounds into bolt guns that come with mags, forces them to come off the rifle every shot. Is that smart? It depends on what you're doing, man. From a fundamental standpoint, it's not good coming off the rifle every time you shoot. You're going to get a different point of impact. It's just a fact. There's some parallax involved. There's some other things going on involved. But the problem is the thing where you're seeing that is a lot of bench rest shooters that basically have their gun in a vise to begin with, and or F-class. You see them doing that. That works for them. If you're just using bipods and, using a rear bag, and you're doing something that's more, I consider more practical shooting, whether that's PRS, whether that's NRL, whether that's just, recreational shooting. At the end of the day, coming off the gun, get back on the gun is never a good idea. Breaking your cheek to stock weld for any reason is never a good idea. That's why God made magazines, so you can feed them right away and put the same rounds in the same hole without breaking that point of aim. So that's my thoughts on that.
And I recommend guys shooting the gun the way they're going, like practicing with the gun, shooting it the way they're going to shoot it in whatever application it may be.
Yeah.
Like whenever I do low development, if I'm shooting a 10-shot string to test something, 10 rounds get loaded in my mag, and that's how I shoot them because,
I was just having a conversation with a very high level shooter. He's a pro shooter. And he was talking about the fact that he zeroes all his guns basically off of a barricade, because that's how he's shooting most of the time. He's like, look, I see a small and very quantitative shift between point of impact zeroing off the bipod on the ground versus what we're doing with a, coming off of a barricade. So little things like that. I mean, as much as you can, it goes back to the old adage, train like you fight, right? So whatever you're going to be doing, you should be trying to replicate that in training so that it comes second nature when it's time to perform. Hopefully that answers your question. Venture beyond.
Also said, honest truth, is the Arc and Scope okay for first-time budget shooters?
I mean, there's a lot of factors going into that. Are you serious about shooting, or you're going to try it out? Are you going to hunt with it? Whatever else. Look, I actually have removed the Arkin review that I did on YouTube, and it had like 300,000 or 400,000 views. And the reason being is because I think too many people, it was weird, right? I mean, the majority of people took that as like a full endorsement of Arkin, and I never said anything like that. I said, hey, this is what happened. I do think it's a good value. I actually think there's probably some other budget optics that you might do better. If you think you're going to look, you're never going to go wrong with buying quality, because the fact is that if I buy a quality optic, even if I spend, whether it's $2,500 on a Zeiss LRPS3, which I think is probably where I would tell people that are serious about shooting, it's kind of like the baseline. That's what I would do. But the fact is that like, if I spend that money on a good optic, I can take that optic, use it for a year, as long as I'm not beating it up, and then sell it for like 80, 90% of what I got out of it. In Arkin, you know, if you're going to get serious about shooting, number one, even in my video, at least the scope that I had over a 10% tracking error in the windage. That's a problem. And then, you know, the more I shot, number one, we had the arcing completely fail on Noah when he was shooting during a course. That kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But the other thing is, once you get that arcing out there and you get it into some different variable or less than pristine light conditions, you get high mirage, low light, that's where you see those images start to fall apart, and you see where all the extra money that you're putting into some of these other optics. Now, if you're one of these guys that, you know, takes up a hobby today and changes it tomorrow, that might just be fine with you. Or if you're just buying it for a hunting rifle, probably fine. You know, at the end of the day, you do get what you pay for. This idea that all these other high-end scope companies are just screwing you over and overcharging you is just nonsense. Like, you're getting, like, if you're buying a Zeiss, if you're buying a Night Force, if you're buying a Zero Compromise, if you're buying whatever it is, like, you're getting what you pay for. Now, as you start to go up in price point, your performance to return on the dollar definitely decreases. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, so it just depends. Ultimately, is depends on you, depends on a lot of other things but I just tell people, like, go buy good stuff. Buy once, cry once is such a good thing to follow. And if you can afford it, go buy it. What really kind of not irritates me. I think it's sad. It breaks my little heart. Got my heart pumping peanut butter when somebody spends, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 on a really nice rifle, and then they put a $400 or $500 scope on it. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, oh, I want to have an intervention. I want to, like, bring a TV crew. I'm like, come on, man, we got to do something better than this.
Yeah, I think Todd Hognett, whenever they came out with the Magpul Art of the Long Ranger, that was like my first purchase as a child, was like that. So, like, what, you know, he said, like, you're better off just buying one rifle scope and putting it in a good amount and changing it.
Yeah.
You know, I really hate whenever I see guys that have 5 lackluster optics that are $700 a piece, and they could have bought a Night Force or a Zeiss. You know, there's special use cases where you need a scope on every single one, but, like, I would just buy.
You'd buy one scope.
I'd buy one scope and move them around, and just that's my personal how I would do it, because you're only ever going to shoot one at a time. But
well, and here's the thing, Jeff, and the reason I can't be definitive on, like, no, don't buy that. Like, if you got a $800 rifle, you can go buy whatever you want. I mean, if you got a cheap rifle and everything you got is budget, and you're carrying around your 1911 and Uncle Mike's holster, go buy an Arkin, because you don't appreciate nice things. So there's actually some people out there that, for what they're buying, it's not a bad option.
Or your budget is seriously a deterrent to you getting into the sport at all.
Yeah.
And that is all you can absolutely afford.
Sure.
Should you let it keep you out of the sport totally? No.
And I would probably look at DNT, and there's some other, like, cheaper options. Or, again, we carry Athlon for a reason. They're pretty darn good for the money. They're a good value. But again, if you can afford, just don't lie to yourself. There's the takeaway. Don't freaking lie to yourself and saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to spend $500 and I'm getting a $2,500 scope. It's the same. It's not.
Jason's got
it's not even close to that. All right. It's not the same thing. Anyone that tells you that is lying to you. That's just a fact. Like, these companies are not screwing you over. They're not overcharging you. Like, there's a lot of R&D, a lot of different things that go into the engineering of that optic, the glass quality of that optic, all those things that play a key role in performance. Now, you may be at a level of shooting that you don't see that performance. Like, you know, I mean, that's just a fact. Like, it doesn't matter if you can give somebody a Gucci handgun. If they've never shot a handgun, it doesn't do them any good, and they're not going to see the difference between that and a high point, because the performance levels are the same. But if you get somebody that knows what they're doing, and you've gotten more proficient at whatever the task is at hand, like, you can start to delineate the differences in quality in the features and performance features. But, you know,
entry level,
buy something good.
Magnus is watching your hands like, what's going on over there?
And look, here's the other thing that I do have a real problem with. And one of the reasons that I've kind of like turned a little anti-Arkin is they are paying a lot of people a lot of money to push these and to make content, and they're selling scopes left and right. And there's a bunch of people out there that they're shills. I don't know any other way to say it. There are lots of shills out there, and I don't think they believe, and I say this not because, like, if somebody paid me, and nobody pays me for any product reviews, but I've never taken money for product reviews. I've never told you guys anything that other than what I truly believe about a product, period. And again, the way that I go about hedging that and making sure that that is the case is I don't get a product in, do a review, and then give you an affiliate link and then hand over responsibility to somebody else, where, you know, that I could have got a cherry pick product. That product might be great now, 6 months from now, the company's crap, everything else is crap, right? I test the product first. I'm like, oh, I like this product a lot. I want to carry this product. So then I do a review or tell you about what I like about this product, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then we carry it in our store. So people have to come in, look me in the eye and say, Gary, is this a good product? Yes, it's a good product. And guess what? If it's not, they can come back and talk to me. I don't do the affiliate link bullshit where, you know, I just think that for me, I don't find that ethically good, right? I just, that's not how I want to do business. And I don't think it's the right way to do business. I want to be able to control or keep an eye on, number one, you know, like, are we getting complaints about this product? Are we seeing a bunch of these products fail? Has the company went to crap on customer service? You know, is everything that I said about this product true? All those things. So there's that.
Yeah, if it says paid promotion in the bottom of the corner, I generally don't listen.
And here's the
video
thing.
is sponsored by.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't have a problem with that. And there's lots of folks out there that are taking money to promote products that are good products. That's fine. But that's just not, you know, and again, you can say that I'm being paid, I'm paying myself money, I guess, to promote products that I believe in. I mean, because we're going to carry them in the store. It's not like I don't have a vested interest in selling you this product, because I do, because I'm going to make money off of it. But I just think that's the, number one, I'm upfront about that. And number two, I just think that's the way to do it.
And we have to pay for the videos and make a living somehow.
Yeah, like, you know, this is not a free, this stuff costs money. All right. This doesn't just happen, folks. All right.
Yeah, he got a new haircut today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Haircuts are expensive now.
Haircuts are expensive now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my press does have cobwebs. I've definitely loaded some other ammo. I'm getting ready to do a bunch of more 6 Max videos and more 6 Max reloading. It's going to be a little bit before I get to 300 PRC again, but also some 6.5 getting ready for the Majorland Sniper Cup. Yeah. No, man, get it. It's good. It's good. All right. Yeah, puppies are expensive.
Puppies are expensive.
Well, look here, Paul. We all know that MOA sucks. All right, just so we're clear on that. I got a whole video series covering that. Which action would be the best for a heavy magnum, like 338 Lapua or 375 Chi-Tac?
I would go with a Ruckus, personally, just because you're more than likely going to stick a big, heavy barrel at the end of it. It's just, if you look at this action, I mean, it's got the full rail on the top, so it is stiffer, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to run, most of the guys that are running like 338 Lapua, 375 Chi-Tacs, they're running 30-inch barrels, right? So
Yeah.
it's just,
And quite
balance.
frankly, a lot of those guys are running freaking, you know, a solid action where you're going to have
Single feed,
You're going
man.
to single feed,
Yeah.
just to keep it as stiff as possible. But, you know, if you want magazine fed, you know, look, at the end of the day, if Defiance makes an action for it, you know, it's going to be extremely robust. The same thing with Impact. And there's a couple other great actions out there too. You know, if they're a kind of a mainstream name when it comes to shooting, they didn't get that way because they're trash. And there's too many people out there that are doing everything from product reviews or just shooting, period. Issues is going to come up. How big is the tenon on the Ruckus?
It's going to be the exact same as every Remington 700.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that spec is somewhere. We'll get it to you. Look on our website or look on Defiance's website. Deviant, trust me, Deviant.
Jeff always has an opinion.
That's weird. All right, folks. Well, listen, I think we covered a lot tonight. If we don't have any final questions, we appreciate you watching, and hopefully that was helpful and informative, somewhat entertaining. You got to see a puppy, if nothing else. I mean, that in itself, you got to see Summer. I mean, my God, that's worth the price of entry right there. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate that if you like content like this. And again, make sure you guys are joining us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where we do, we have guests on all the time. We talk about guns, gear, training, politics. Sometimes we talk about, Bigfoot, the moon landing, whether it happened or not, all those things, right? So come join us, come have some fun. And until next time, hold on. We got a final question. Sorry if you covered this. Thoughts on the MRAD bolt engagement causing the round to fire without the trigger being pulled? Well, there's a bunch of videos of it taking place. I don't know what to say. I think they're getting their bolts made at the same place as SIG.
The P320.
I don't know, man. It's clearly a thing. I just hope they handle it better than SIG has handled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I've been tempted to jump on and pontificate about the 320. I think that's pretty covered. Everybody's covered that. I've never been a big SIG fan to begin with, other than the 365. I love the 365. I carry that all the time. Was just out doing some private training with my 365 best carry gun, 365 XL. So far, there hasn't been any issues with that. But generally, I'm not a big fan of a lot of SIG products, to be quite honest with you. That's just my personal thing. But anyways, folks, thanks for showing up. And until next time, stay armed, stay ready. We'll talk to you.